Hi guys and welcome to another episode of Moving On Up on Football Manager 2017. Now you may remember last episode we were looking into buying this guy Clayson. I have since then decided against it. He's an attacking left midfielder mainly, that's his best position. We don't need wingers. His other best position is attacking centre midfield. We don't really need another one of those, so I would literally be wasting my money on a player who I don't think I can actually even register because we've already got our maximum number, which is 4 of non-EU players. So if I did buy him, I'd have to unregister one of our current non-EU players, and we don't really need him, so we're not going to go ahead with that one. Incidentally, if you're looking for a great place to get real-life transfer news or just football news in general, head on over to offside.co.uk. The link's in the description below and they've got some great articles over there, so go and check it out. So also last episode we obviously played a game. We played against Monaco, we lost 2-0. Since then we've played quite a few matches, I think it's about 6 or 7. The first of which was a game at home against Cayenne, and we managed to win 2-0. Remy Walter and Jean Terrell with 2 relatively early goals, which made me think that we might win by about 4 or 5, but it wasn't to be. It was just a 2-0 victory. Remy Walter also picked up a Man of the Match award. I just lost count of how many he has got this season, how many Man of the Match awards he's got. Got a goal and an assist in this game, and he's probably our best player now. I'm going to say it. He's our best player. We dominated the game really, 52% possession, 17 shots, even if only 6 of them were on target, we're still having the shots. Very impressive performance. Then it was the international break, so I'd organised a friendly against a lower league opposition and asked my assistant manager to manage the team, and we managed to get a 2-0 victory. Clayton getting himself a brace in the friendly. And then it was back to league action. It was a tough one away against AS Saint Etienne, who are a better team than us and were higher than us in the league at the time. I think they still are, in fact. They took the lead through Jordan Ayew and extended that lead to 3 goals thanks to Kevin Monet-Paquet and Douglas. We did manage to get a consolation goal late on thanks to Tioro Kurzawa getting his first ever goal for the club, which is a nice addition to a 3-1 defeat. But other than that, not many positives to take from the game. We were in charge of possession, which I guess is a positive to take. But I am playing with the instruction of retain possession on now, so that's kind of to be expected. Also, I forgot to mention, Walter and Johan Andrew were both out injured for this match, so we had to end up playing. You can see there we've got a slightly rotated squad. We've got Mendy playing in defensive midfield and Gamba playing in centre midfield, and Paul Bice who had been covering for Johan Andrew when he was out injured. I think he was out injured for about 3 or 4 weeks. Then came another defeat. Things looked like they were going to start off promisingly when we were given a penalty on the 22nd minute. I think it was Eli Yuan who had actually brought in for Clayton because Clayton had been underperforming. Remy Walter stepped up to take the penalty, however he missed, and then we went on to do nothing with the game, and Thierry Bafuma managed to score a brace to give Bastia the victory and himself a Man of the Match award. In this one we actually had to play 18-year-old Matthew Cox. Michael? Where did Michael come from? I nearly called him Mikel. Matthew Cox at left back, right back. Am I drunk? We played Matthew Cox at right back because Paul Bice was suspended and obviously Johan Andrew was out injured still. Dalbert was also suspended for this one, but Jefferson could come in for him. But we picked up a red card in this game, which kind of turned the tide. It was after the red card that Bastia took advantage of the game on the 60th minute, while Cyprian getting himself sent off for a second yellow, and then Bastia just had it all their own way from that point on. Then things turned back into our favour, and oh how they turned back into our favour. We managed to get a 2-0 victory away to Bordeaux, who are actually the team that we are facing today in the Coupe de la Ligue. Alexis Bassetti with a brace. It's the first time he's really impressed me, I would say. Juan Carlos and Bassetti linking up brilliantly. 2 assists for Juan Carlos, 2 goals for Alexis Bassetti, a Man of the Match award for Bassetti as well. And you can see we had 25 shots to Bordeaux's 4, 61% possession at 10 shots on target. And things just started looking up from here. And then a few days later, we hosted FC Nantes. This was a bit of a boring game, a 0-0 draw. Dalbert picked up a Man of the Match award for us with a 7.8. rating. Van Collis and Alexi Bassetti were unable to recreate that magic that they had against Bordeaux. We did have 22 shots again, 10 on target once again, and bossed possession, but we couldn't make those chances or that possession count in the end, and had to live with a 0-0 draw. And the final game that we've played offline before we come to this Bordeaux game was an amazing one against Stade Rennais. Things started pretty badly. Mikel Libihan scored for Stade Rennais on the 4th minute. He's actually on loan from us. I don't know why there isn't a clause in his contract to say he can't play against us, but he managed to score. Despite the fact he started the game injured, he scored against us after 4 minutes. But Juan Carlos soon restored parity on the 5th minute, just 1 minute later. And then he got a second goal. That was actually his first goal ever for us since I signed him in the summer. He's probably been one of our better signings from CFR Cluj. He managed to get a brace in this game. Mattia Vitali got one, Alexi Bassetti got one, and Juan Carlos picked up Man of the Match award. 2 goals, 1 assist, 9.3 match rating. We had 10 shots, 5 on target, 61% possession, and if we can recreate this against Bordeaux today, then we're going to be safely through to the next round of the Cup. But that's a big if. Now, before we go and have a look at the team selection for today's game, we've just got a bit of transfer news to go through. So this is one out. Saeed Benrahma, he is a striker. He hasn't really played for us at all. His contract was expiring in July, and I wasn't gonna sign him to a new contract, really. He was valued at 1.2 million, and I decided to offer him to clubs, see if anyone wanted him. Clermont Foot came in with an offer of about 800,000. I then asked for 1.2 million, and they did some sort of deal that adds up to 1.2 million. It was 1 million with clauses worth £200,000. So he's moved on to the Ligue 2 team. And I've also been busy in the transfer market myself. There's 3 signings that are going to be coming in January. I've done my business very, very early. So the first of which is left back, Greg Cunningham. Basically, we don't have a great left back. I feel like he could be a great left back. His tackling, marking, passing are all brilliant. His crossing as well. So if you wanted to play him as a sort of wing back, would be very good. And just his attributes across the board look pretty damn good. Just the history into him, he started his career off at Manchester City. He's had loan spells at Leicester and Nottingham Forest. He's moved to Bristol, then he's been at Preston North End since 2015. And he seems to be doing pretty well for them in the Championship and in League 1. So hopefully he can recreate that in Ligue 1. It's the French version of League 1, literally, in the definition. So I don't see why he wouldn't be able to recreate his form. And that is for 8.25 million that I've spent on him, so you'll have to recreate this form pretty quickly, because I'm not sure the board will be happy with me spending that much money on a League 1 player. Next signing is a striker. Now, I signed him before Alexi Bassetti started scoring goals, and we were in desperate need of a striker, but I think we still need a striker. He's quite young, Serbian. I literally scoured the leagues that I have active, and where Partizan? It's Belgrade. Where's Belgrade? Is that Serbia? It is Serbia. Yeah, so I found him he was the top scorer in Serbia, Uros Djurdjevic, and let's just see how he's still doing now. He's got 14 goals in 21 games in the Serbian Superliga, so we need a goal scorer. You can see the season before he got 25 and 33. I understand the Serbian Superliga won't be as competitive a league as Ligue 1, but if you can score a goal there, surely you can score a goal anywhere. So we've signed him for £5 million, valued at 1.4 million. But, he's young, he's got a chance to develop, I guess. He's got 20 goals in 35 games. He's been scoring in the Europa League, which is a good sign. I mean, I don't know who he scored against, but he's been scoring, so little positives. And the last signing I made is this guy, Emil Kraft. Just had to see how much I signed him for. £3 million is what I've signed him for. He's a backup, basically, because we've got Johan Andre at right back, and we've got Paul Bates, who can play at right back, but isn't a designated right back. But we found that when they were both out, either injured or suspended, in the case one of each, we had to play 18-year-old, am I going to get this right, Matthew Cox? I think it's Matthew. Pretty sure it's Matthew. And I'm not very comfortable with doing that. So Emil Kraft has been brought in just as a backup for £3 million from Bologna. And of course, all those signings will be arriving on the 2nd of January, I believe. Now, for today's game, we have the lineup as follows. Benitez continues in goal, despite the fact that Johan Cardinal, who was our first choice keeper at the start of the season, is back to full fitness. I think Benitez has been doing a good job, so he's going to stay there until he starts doing a bad job. At right back, we've got Johan Andrew, who actually comes in to make his first start in a while. It has been Paul Bice playing there, and Matthew Cox for that one game where Bice was suspended. But Andrew is our starting right back, and he needs to get some match sharpness. Obviously, this is a cup game, and we've reached our expectation in the cup this season. I would still like to go through, but I understand I've got to rotate players to keep them fresh. In centre-back, we've got Le Marchand and Dante. Dante coming in for a rare start, giving Thioro Kurzawa a bit of a rest today. Obviously, I want Kurzawa to take over from Dante, really, because Dante is getting on a bit. I think he's 36, is he? 34. I've just added 2 years to his life. But he's 34 years old, so he is getting on a bit. We don't know how long he's going to be here. We do need to look to the future, and I think Thioro Kurzawa is that future, but Dante coming in for him today in the cup. Dalbert is at left back, as always, and we've got Cyprien in defensive midfield, Remy Walter and Mattia Vitale in the centre of midfield, Jean Toral and Clayton in attacking centre midfield. Clayton coming in for Juan Carlos, who's been playing pretty well recently, but again, it's the cup. I need to rotate, I need to give players game time to keep them happy. And then Eli Yuan is playing as trequartista up front, which is the role which has been working quite well for Bassetti. So hopefully it can be recreated with Yuan, who I did promise when I signed him I would play in the cup, and I don't want to break any promises. And just the one team instruction on for today's game, and that is retain possession. We're playing with a standard mentality. We'll see how things go. Might have to switch it around. So Bordeaux are actually the favourites to this one, 4-5 favourites, despite the fact we beat them only a couple of games ago, 2-0. Draw is 2-1, and we are 3-1. Bordeaux actually need to progress beyond this stage to live up to their minimum expectations in the Coupe de Ligue. We've already reached ours, so we just want to go as far as possible. Key man for Bordeaux is their striker, Robert Berich, who has 8 goals in 16 games in all competitions. In terms of club competitions that are competitive, he has 8 in 16 games, which is a pretty good ratio, 1 goal in every other game. And then our key man is Alexi Bassetti, who, as I've said, starts on the bench today, but has been improving over the past few weeks. His heading, first touch and finishing all going up, which is pleasing to see. He has got 22 goals for us since 2009, so that's in 9 years he's managed 22 goals, which isn't really that good, but he has got 3 in 5 starts in Ligue 1. So Bordeaux playing with a traditional 4-4-2 formation today. Obviously, as is always the case, we need to be wary of the wingers, with us not having any width at all and being very narrow, apart from the fullbacks, who we do actually have on attack and support, so they will be running up and down those wings and should be able to deal with the threat of Macayadi and Unas. In terms of personnel for Bordeaux, I honestly only know, is that Jeremy Menez? It is. I only know him. He's the only guy I know. So we are going to assertively say, go out there and carry straight on from where you finished the last match, and then we'll passionately tell them, I think there's a lot more to come from you. Everyone's morale is pretty good to start with anyway. Eli Yuan is the weakest link in terms of morale. Still searching for that first goal. He's played technically 12 games, 4 starts, but he still hasn't managed to score yet. Is he going to get it today? So we have kickoff, shooting from right to left in our white kit with red numbers. Hopefully we are going to recreate what happened against Bordeaux earlier in the season. Cyprien's got a free kick early on. Oh, what a finish that is. Cyprien, after just over a minute with his second goal of the season. That is an excellent place to give a free kick away, though. Thank you very much, Bordeaux. Cyprien just dispatched that right into the top corner, and we start the game excellently. Okay, could this be another chance now? Andrea with the ball, plays it central to Walter, forward to Eliuan, now it's Vitali. Is he going to shoot? No, he plays it through to John Terral. John Terral, it's 2-0. We're 2-0 up after 10 minutes. John Terral with his second goal of the season. And it definitely looks like a long way back for Bordeaux, but I know what my teams are like. We can throw leads away like nobody's business. And Bordeaux have a chance possibly straight from kickoff, unless there's an interception, which there is from Dante, the main man. Now Yuan holding the ball up well, plays it back to Walter, onto Clayton, who's trying to take on his man, plays it forward to Vitali, through to Terral, looking for a second. Terral, oh, what a finish. What a goal from John Terral. Second of the game, third of the season, and he looks like an inspired signing from the previous manager, obviously ex-Arsenal. And he's got the ball again, on a hat-trick now. John Terral plays that across, looking for Vitali, but it's a bit hard, but he gets there. Forward to Clayton now, and it's Yuan. Is he going to play through? No, he's not. He's going to play it back to Cyprian. He's holding the ball up well, though, which is nice to see. Yuan with the ball again to Clayton. Walter through to Terral for his hat-trick. Oh, he saw his name up in lights, and he just scuffed the chance wide. It was an excellent opportunity for him, though. Clayton sprinting with the ball down this left wing. Yuan's got it now. Tries to pass, but it's blocked. Dalbert gets it. Now it's Walter to Vitali. Through to Terral for his hat-trick. What a save onto the post by Carasso. Jon Terral is so unlucky not to have had 4 goals today. And Cyprian just hacks Crivelli down. Obviously Cyprian has a habit of getting booked or red carded. That's good defending, and we've won the ball. Terral with an excellent pass down the left flank to Yuan, who holds that up, plays that back to Walter. I'm really impressed with his holding up today. That is just, he's done so well so far. Terral with the ball. Now Walter to Clayton. Through left to Dalbert, who crosses it in. It's headed away by Sissoko. I thought Yuan was going to get a goal there. So want it to happen. I think this could be the game for him. Now I don't know whether Bordeaux are playing a rotated team, you know. Because obviously I only recognise one player, but I'm not really familiar that much with Bordeaux's team anyway. But Clayton still got the ball for us. Forward to Yuan, plays it through to Terral. This hat-trick is not going to happen here. He's fluffed another one. 25 minutes gone, and we've had what seems like a match full of highlights. So half-time arrives, and we are 3-0 up. Yuan, disappointingly, is our worst performing player, but everyone's doing pretty okay. A 3-0 lead against Bordeaux isn't too shabby. I'm very pleased. Keep it going. I'll passionately say there's a lot more to come from you. Okay, good, he looks happy. I'll not do any of the other ones, and there's no need for subs at this point in time. Free kick deep in their own half from Pablo, headed away by Dante. Now Terral gets that brilliantly from Hadji. Terral's still on a hat-trick, plays it to Clayton. Now it's Vitali to his central midfield partner Walter, out wide to Andrea, who tries to take on Pereira but gets tackled and loses out. Menez, who's come off the bench, plays a terrible pass and it's intercepted easily by Dante, but Walter gets dispossessed. It's Unas on the right-hand side for Bordeaux now. Can they get a goal back? Dalbert wins the ball, and we've got the ball back. Clayton plays it forward to Yuan, who flicks it on to Terral. Excellent flick on. Yuan's going to get it back down this left-hand side, and Yuan's still got it, crosses it in. Terral's there. There's the hat-trick. Jon Terral with his 4th goal of the season, and Yuan gets himself a hat-trick. Not a hat-trick, he gets himself an assist. Jon Terral gets himself a hat-trick. I am going to make a change, but I'm going to keep Yuan on all the rest of the game. Now Jon Terral's got his hat-trick, that makes it easier for me to be able to take him off if needs be. I don't think I should bring on... should I bring on Ali yet? You know what, yeah. We're going to give Jon Terral a standing ovation, and Coupe Mtse Ale is going to come on the field for Jon Terral, and that'll be the only change we make for the time being. Okay, Clayton with the free kick, crosses it in, it's cleared by Crivelli, but they've got no attackers up there, so Andrea's got plenty of time to control, turn, and find a teammate to pass to, so he decides to kick it straight to Bordeaux, but he's won it back, thankfully, from a dodgy clearance. Walter now with the ball in the centre of the field to Vitali, forward to Mtse Ali. I'll just call him Ali. Clayton. Clayton moving forward. Clayton with a chance to shoot, and it's saved by Carasso. And we're going to make our second change of the game. And it's going to be Ngamba coming on. And we will take off Vitali. And then in about 5 minutes' time, we'll bring on Lusamba for Walter as well. Benu with a free kick, possible chance for a consolation goal maybe for Bordeaux here. Fournier with the ball, chance to cross it in, but it's blocked by Ali, and Ali with a chance to counter-attack now. Ali running down this left wing. Can he find someone to pass to? He cuts inside, plays the centre of the Walter, forward to Yuan. Yuan scored! Eli Yuan scored! What? No. Is it? It's onside? It's in. It's actually a goal. I saw the linesman stop. I thought it was offside for a second, but Eli Yuan's actually scored a goal. Bordeaux, thank you. Although I have missed my cue to make that final change, I'm in shock. So, Remy Walter coming off, Lusamba coming on for the last 3 minutes. Is it worth it? I guess it runs down the clock a little bit, not like we need it. But Eli Yuan, finally. Cyprien with a chance from a free kick again. Oh, it's saved. Apparently he's having an absolute stormer. There's the full-time whistle. Now, who gets the Man of the Match award? Come on, it's got to be one of our players. I was going to say, Jon Toral, hat-trick hero, 9.6 rating. And the Man of the Match award goes to him. Everyone looking confident or convinced, which is amazing to see. Superb morale across the first 11, and pretty good morale everywhere else in the team as well. So that is a very, very useful result. I'm going to say it was really special. Played magnificently. So there we go. 23 shots, 13 on target, 64% possession. Player of the match, Jon Toral, who has also incidentally lifted himself up into second in the goal scoring chart after just one game. I think, you know, if we're lucky with the draw, we could go on to win this. I've probably jinxed it now, but we could. So the quarterfinal draw for the Coupe de la Ligue is in a couple of days, so we'll be back for that in a second. So here we are. It's time for the quarterfinal draw of the Coupe de la Ligue. There's 9 teams left in it. So teams we want to avoid really are probably, I'd say, Lyon and PSG. But any of those teams could really beat us. I mean, Metz beat us, Bastia beat us. Did Lorient beat us? Probably. Don't think we've played Toulouse. Let's just see who we get. We'll do an automatic draw. It's always more exciting. So Nice were the first team out, and we get Metz, who beat us in a league game earlier this season. We'll just let the draw play out. But Metz is a tough ask. Is it PSG? Oh, Lens. I thought it might have been PSG Lyon. Well, we can pretty much see the lineup for the semi-finals then, apart from our match. I would say Lyon, Paris Saint-Germain, Marseille, and then whoever wins out of our match are going to be in the semis. But you never know, there might be a shock. So when is that game? Let's just have a look at our schedule. Ooh, 2 cup games in a row. Okay, well, we're definitely going to do the quarterfinal. Might make it into a double live com. I'll just see how it goes. But that is it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. A lovely 5-0 victory, which rarely happens for me on a live com episode. So thank you very much for watching. Hit the like button if you did enjoy this episode. Subscribe to my channel to get all my content when it comes out. And I'll see you next time.